Hi everybody, welcome to our Code Blue. This training is for the AutoPulse, a device we just bought this year after we trialed it. And this device will be stored in the cath lab and MSN. It is for an extensive compression, and the RRT nurse or the Code Blue team member would ask someone to get it or deploy it to a Code Blue that was going on that was needing more than just a couple minutes of chest compressions on and off. So what we're going to demonstrate today is how to use this device. There is some good YouTube videos on Zoll's site, who is the manufacturer, or there's some paramedic sites that actually demonstrate this. So it rolls on a cart like this. This piece is what goes on the patient, and this is disposable. The backboard part is fairly heavy, so I always ask that two people get it out of the holder. So we're going to have, Alex is going to help me, one of your team members today. So what we're going to do, there's handles right here, and then we're going to lift up here, and we're going to get it out of the holder, and we're going to bring it to the edge of the bed. Now you can see here's the yellow arrow, and this will go to the head of the bed. And CPR at this point would be going on, and at the 2-minute mark, we would tell the people, okay, we're going to deploy this device. Now, the hard thing about this is you have to get into the top of the patient and slide it down. So I'm going to have Alex go to the other side of the bed. And what we're going to do, you are going to need several people to do this because you cannot roll the patient on here because then you're not going to be on the board correct. So what I suggest, if it's a larger patient, use your sheets and lift the patient up, okay, like this. But then you're going to have to hold the patient like this. Then let the sheet down because you can't have the sheet on top of this. And then you're going to deploy the device like that, and then lay the person down. So obviously you need a couple people. And then John, come over here. What you want to have appropriate positioning is you want the yellow marker right here at the armpit level for all patients. Then we could start CPR again and get this on. And we're gonna just place it like this. And then you can turn the device on. You can do CPR on the top of this. Whoops, device on here. And someone could still be doing CPR. And then you're going to read, it's going to tell you, align patient on platform, close the life band, which we did, and then press continue. Okay? Check alignment, and then it's going to start. So this is nice because it frees up a person, and you just heard that sound. That sound tells us now we can ventilate the patient. So every time you hear a beep, that's the time that RT can give the ventilation, okay? And the nice thing on this, it has a counter right here, so it allows us to say, okay, when we get to 2 minutes, then we'll stop. And remember, at 2 minutes, everyone, we will stop, so then we'll pause it, and we'll check rhythm and pulse. If we have to defibrillate, you're going to go right back on again. It will check alignment and start while we charge the defibrillator, and you can just deploy the defibrillation while this is going. Okay?
Question, when you're doing the pulse check, do you have to stop it or will it stop itself?
You have to stop it. So the Code Blue team members will say, okay, 2 minutes, and then stop compressions, check pulse, check rhythm, and then restart, okay? And then it will check patient alignment and start again. Now, remember that you wanna make sure, I'm gonna turn it off so you can hear me, that when you deploy that the bands are straight, the patient has good alignment. One of the things that we've noticed, we've used this about 4 or 5 times already, is the patient's head will bounce up and down sometimes, and just putting a roll towel, or in your procedure rooms you might have you know, OR towels, you can just put them behind the head and that will soften it up a little bit, which makes it really nice. The biggest thing with this is to get them deployed on the device. I'll just turn it off right now. To get them deployed on the device. And the contraindications are obviously trauma to the chest. Currently, we're not going to be doing this on a fresh post-op, but around the world they are doing it on some post-op patients, cardiac surgery, because it actually compresses from the side instead of down like this. The other contraindication is if a patient weighs more than 350 pounds, or let's say in the 400s, you can only have on the board 350 pounds. Obviously, your lower trunk area could be more, but 350 pounds on here. The biggest thing I want to emphasize is that this is a team device. To put it, you have to actually have a good team leader explaining to people how to deploy it. We all want to roll the patient on it, but you're not going to get the patient on the board correctly. And you can't drag it across the sheets because the back of the board, we're going to take him off right now, the back of the board will get caught in the sheets. This piece right here, or it'll flip out on here. And that's the piece that a lot of us are a little upset with, because this will come out easy. So don't drag it on the sheet. So it takes a couple people on each end of this patient to lift them up and then deploy the board down like this, okay? Now, the batteries are good for 30 minutes. So it will tell you when you're running low, and then you guys, because you're up at the head of the bed a lot, will have to probably help. And you can see the battery is right here. It comes out like this. There'll be another battery on the stand in there, and these look like this. And then the biggest thing for people to get is you can't just kind of go like this to push it in. You kind of have to really slam it in there to get that in, and then you just restart. Okay, so 30 minutes is what you will get out of it, and that's pretty close. We've had to change them out pretty much at 30 minutes. In the cath lab and MSN, they have a battery charger, and this device is checked every day by those two departments. And we will work as a team with you guys. You're our co-partners in Code Blues. This will free us up, and it's been really successful. The one thing at several of the codes I've been in, you remember your end tidal CO2 should be greater than 10 while we were doing chest compressions. And a lot of our patients we've put on this device, their end tidals have been like 12, 15, and as soon as we get the device doing the compressions, because it's so consistent versus a person doing it, it's like 22, 23. So that's the good news on there too. Let's see what else. It is cleaned by Purple Wipes, so the Code Blue team member or the RRT nurse, after we're done, they'll take this, clean it with Purple Wipes, and then we will put a new band on, and it's always stored with a fresh band ready to go.
Awesome.
That's it.
Thank you very much, Roberta.
Thank you, guys. Okay.